Well, Guenther, welcome back to Australia. I feel like you're probably going to be more busy than you normally would be here in Australia this time, despite the fact that you sort of stepped out of the F1 circus a little bit. How are you looking forward to spending a bit of time down under?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me back here. But no, it's different. It's complete different circumstances. When you are running a team, you focus just on that one, and you don't get to see a lot outside. This time I got to see a lot outside and hopefully not a lot of a team, so I'm pretty happy with that one now.
Guenther, you're probably best known to us in the recent past as the team principal for the Haas Formula 1 team. That all came to an end at the end of last year. What can you tell us about the breakdown in the relationship there?
Yeah, it was like Gene Haas, which is the owner of Haas F1, had his vision didn't match what I wanted to do, or I didn't match what he wanted to do, obviously, because he owns the team and not me. I'm fully respectful of that one, but no, it's just what it was getting too hard to do for where I wanted to get, because when you're in a competitive environment, you always want to go up. Just to be there, to be around, and you need to make investments to get better, because all the other teams, and I didn't invent anything new, I just looked around, the other teams are doing completely different things, and we didn't keep up with them, and if you don't keep up, you cannot get there. You work hard as them, but you don't get there. So it just didn't work anymore. It's one of the things in life. I was with the team 10 years. I started it from nothing. I came up with the idea, so I'm pretty happy. Yeah.
How do you look back on your tenure at the team? What do you feel like is your legacy with Haas?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, it's still the youngest team in Formula 1, and if I think back 10, 12, 14 years when I started to go around with a business plan to try to find an investor to set up an F1 team, a lot of people said this will never work. We made it happen, and I say specifically we made it happen. There was a whole team involved in it, not only me. I had the idea, but there was a lot of good people, and a lot of these people are still at the team. So I look back positively, no regrets.
I know that you're very pragmatic about the departure, but considering, I guess, your personal exertion into this project, you give blood, sweat and tears. Did it sting a little bit?
Not really, because all good things come to an end, and in life I always think like this. This is, I was a little bit disappointed. I couldn't say goodbye to the people directly when I was there, because how it was done could have been a lot better. But otherwise, it's just like one of these things in life. If you're not in a position to do what you like to do or what you wanted to do, it's fine. You need to move on, and one door closes, two open.
So what is next for you then?
I'm busier than I wanted to be busy, to be honest. That maybe sounds strange now, but the day after it was announced, the telephone and the WhatsApp started coming in. You want to come to do this one and that one, and I said I'm not saying no to anything and not yes to anything, and I just don't know what I want to do. I'm now almost 59, and I still don't know what I want to do when I'm a grown-up.
I think you've done a pretty good job so far to avoid, having a grown-up job, right? Exactly. Tell me then also, can you see yourself going back to Team Land? Do you want to get back into the inner sanctum of Formula 1 again?
The circumstances need to be right. I don't have to do it, fortunately. So if I'm going to do it, and there is no short-term plan in the moment to do anything, but if I'm going to do it, I wouldn't say it needs to be on my terms. It needs to be on terms that I'm very happy with. Just going in there to do a job I don't want to do. What I did in my life, it was always what I enjoyed to do. Because if I don't enjoy to do something, I'm not doing a good job. If I don't enjoy it, I'm my biggest enemy myself, because I don't want to do it, So in the moment, not, but if there's something comes up, I'm always talking with people, I'm always in contact with people, maybe, but no pressure.
You sit in a really privileged position because you've been part of this game for such a long time to make a comment on the evolution of Formula 1. I mean, the cars, the sport itself, the proliferation of it with the new owners in Liberty Media. How have you seen it evolve, and what do you think the trajectory is for it into the future?
How long time have you got? No, I think we need to go back to when Liberty Media took over, where the sport made a massive step. And I would say up to then it was managed well and everything, but I think Liberty Media saw the potential in the sport. more than the previous owners, because all good things come to an end again, you know. So it was sold and Liberty Media took it over. Obviously in the beginning it was, I wouldn't say criticized, it was doubted, because it's an American company, how Americans don't know anything about Formula One and so on. So, but I think they knew exactly what they were doing. They saw the potential and just realized it, you know, with using social media, making the event more eventful, call it like this, more around it, not just a car race and not cookie cutter races, because one is like this, all the other needs to be like this. No, now we have got a variety of formats of racing, and what they kept very well, in my opinion, is they kept the racing, the Formula One race, as the pinnacle of the weekend. You know, that is the most important. It's not, people say there is too much entertainment. It cannot be too much. If you don't want it, just don't take it, because the most important thing is still the race itself. So they kept that one alive, and they just introduced a lot of different formats how to do a race weekend. And it's very weird. If you just think back 5-6 years, the races were pretty much every weekend was the same. Now we have got sprint events. Now we have got night races. We have got city races. You know, there's always something different, and you just get intrigued by it. And I think Liberty Media did a good job in bringing this to the sport, and that for the sport grew. It didn't happen just because they got lucky. They put a lot of effort and investment behind it.
I think your point about the proliferation of Formula One is absolutely attached to the accessibility that has now been granted to fans and to everyone in the industry. And that has come off the back of, too, I think, the Netflix effect, and you've personally really profited from that. Tell us about how the game changed when Drive to Survive started.
Yeah, it changed a lot, because people, before we go back, they just saw a race on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
You know, they saw a qualifying on Saturday, and that was they saw, that's what they watched. And with Drive to Survive coming on Netflix, all of a sudden people saw what is actually going on, and people, I think now obviously we are all experts and why it is, and you know, we all analyze it, but people just see personalities. The personalities were there before, they were just not shown. I think that's what Drive to Survive gave to people, just access to behind the scene.
How has it changed your life, though? Because you've been one of the stars of the show from the get-go.
It actually, my life, I personally didn't change. You know, my life has changed. Obviously, a lot of people recognize you. You get used to it. You know, it isn't a bad thing. You know, I wouldn't say it's something I worked for. You know, I never got up in the morning. Because some people do this for a career. You know, I want to be recognized, to be somebody, to make that's not me. I mean, you are recognized pretty well as well, so you know what we're dealing with, so you don't have to ask me.
Not at your level, Guenther. Nowhere near at your level. What is it like to have to deal with all those alpha personalities? There's big egos, there's a lot of politics amongst the team principals and those big businesses. Tell us what Toto Wolff is really like, what Christian Horner is really like, and the interactions and how you do negotiate with those big players.
Obviously, politics play a big role in Formula One, and you just use them like everybody else uses them, and you try to make the best out of it. Politics, there is a winner and a loser, as we always know, you know. So some you win, some you lose, and you just keep on going. That is how you deal with it. Nothing else that's what they call politics, you know, and you keep on going. I mean, the characters, I personally, you know, I don't have, in general, no problems with people. I just tell them what I think. If they like it, fine. If they don't like it, fine as well. You know, get on with it. You know, it's nothing. You know, this is what I think. If you don't like it, so it will be. I mean, it's not my problem anymore. It's yours now. You know. So, and that is how I deal with them. But in general, I mean, it's just like in a normal society, in a normal neighborhood, you've got the same thing going on, just at a different level.
Can you remember a pre-season, or certainly the early part of a season, that's had as many juicy headlines as we've enjoyed this year? I mean, from where you sit, how do you see, you know, the circus that's kind of surrounding Red Bull at the moment? What is that really about? And is that something that's going to continue to be a story through the year? Will Christian Horner survive?
First of all, I avoid to judge, you know, and it's very difficult to judge when you have got all the facts, and I do not have them, and I think very few people have got them. So for me, in that soap opera, I call it, a little bit, is I find it strange that there is no solution found at some stage, you know, because some people will know what actually happened, and if you know what happened, there can be a decision taken, in my opinion. But I find it a little bit strange that it took this long, and I think it would benefit everybody. And I'm not just speaking for Formula One, also the people involved, because sometimes putting a line on the bottom, it makes you do good things again.
2 from 2 for Red Bull so far this season. Can anyone catch them?
I think in the short term, no. I mean, we need to be honest about that one. The other cars, the Ferrari is not far off. If they have got a good development program, if going, I think it could be possible. Charles is not far off. I mean, you can see Charles is not far off Checo Perez. You know, obviously Max is in his own league in the moment. So, you know, but short term, I think the next races will be dominated by Max if nothing strange happens. But I think mid-term, I think there could be some surprise.
Guenther, I could talk to you all afternoon. I've got a million questions, but I know we're probably running out of time. It's been so wonderful to catch up with you here at the Adelaide Motor Festival. Enjoy your time in Australia, and I really hope that we'll see you back here soon. Thanks for talking to Fox Sports.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Thank you.